As a highly sensitive person, I often feel strangely invisible. And at the exact same time, there are moments when I desperately want to be invisible. Maybe you can relate. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a few examples. Say I need a new pair of hiking boots. So I go into a sporting goods store, into the shoe department. They've got a wall of shoes and boots. And I see some that I'm interested in, and I'm having a look. And I'd like to try a pair on. There's a couple sales associates. One of them is helping another customer, and the other is busy doing, I don't know what, stocking shelves or just finding anything other than helping a customer. I'm clearly trying to decide whether I want to buy these boots, and nobody's acknowledging me. After a while, I start feeling weirdly invisible. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, I get frustrated, and eventually I'll go track down the salesperson who's not helping someone, or maybe even the one who is. And inside I'm thinking, am I somehow invisible here? But I don't say that. I may have a little bit of an edge to my voice, and I just go up and say, excuse me, I'd really like to try on this pair of boots. And they're like, oh, as if they hadn't seen me. So maybe I haven't been imagining that I was invisible. Another example is a typical restaurant situation. Maybe you've been in this situation before where, it's no problem getting in, getting a table, sitting down, ordering your food. But from that moment on, it's like you disappear. You see all these other people that come in and sit down and they order their food and they're being served before your food comes. And to get the waiter or waitress's attention seems to be very difficult. And even when you do, you don't really want to lay into them because it's probably not their fault, though. That might be, you never know. And when you do get their attention, of course, it's like, oh, no, that's coming up right away. And, still might wait like another 10, 15 minutes until your food comes. And it's like, finally, it arrives. Very frustrating. Third example, and this one, thank God I don't have to deal with anymore, but just thinking on my days when I used to go to nightclubs as a younger adult, never really enjoyed it at the best of times. It's a bit of a HSP nightmare, all the loud noise and music and crowdedness and drunken people all over the place. And the worst part of it always seemed to be actually going up to the bar and ordering drinks. I'd go up to the bar and, be packed there, finally make it up to the actual bar. And again, total invisibility. The bartender, of course, serves all, assuming the bartender's a man, of course he's serving all the women first. Next comes any big, particularly loud and obnoxious men. And then eventually he might actually notice me. Usually I have to sort of wave my arms like, hello, I'm here. Can I please just order my beer? So when I say dichotomy, that certainly means there's a whole other side. In certain cases, I actually kind of wish I were invisible. I think there'd be some major advantages to that. So conversely, if I go into a clothing store and I'm literally just looking around, I have no intention of buying, I just want to see what there is, or maybe I do have an intention of buying, but certainly not ready to for a while. So typically you walk in the store and there's these young salespeople and they say, hello, how are you? The second you walk in and you're just like, fine, I'm good, thanks, how are you? And then you kind of carry on, and then you start looking at some shirts or other clothes and they're saying, oh, this is our latest model, our latest style. Do you want to try it on? I can see if we got your size in the back, but I just want to look. So I have to tell that person, I'm just looking, thanks very much. They're like, oh, okay, well, if you need my help, I'm over here. Thank you. So I continue looking around the store, and when you know it, another salesperson comes and says the exact same thing, like, oh, is there something you'd like to try on? No, I'm just looking. The opposite situation of looking for the boots. It'd be nice just to say hello, and then if you need any help, I'm over here, done with the conversation. One other time I'd like to be invisible often is when I'm going for walks. I do a lot of walking, particularly first thing in the morning before work and at the end of the day after work. It's way of decompressing. And I just like to be left alone, usually like to just listen to a podcast and go into my own zone for 45 minutes or an hour however long I'm going for a walk. And I don't mind if I pass somebody and they'll wave or maybe say hello, and I can just say hi and just keep on walking. Don't need to take out my headphones. But I really can't stand it if somebody needs to make small talk for no apparent reason. The classic example that always comes to my mind is years ago I lived in this neighborhood, and I'd be coming home from my walk at the end of the day, and again have my headphones in, so I'm listening to my music or my podcast. And there's a guy I'd call the hot enough for you guy. And he'd see me coming, he'd be talking to me, and I'd stop and make a big production of stopping my podcast, taking my headphones out, and saying, "Pardon me," or "Sorry, what did you say?" And he'd say, "Hot enough for you," or conversely, "Cold enough for you." And I'd roll my eyes and I'd say, "Yes." I'd put my headphones in, press play again, and get back on my walk. I know some people really enjoy these little interactions, but for me, when I'm walking, I just want solitude. And I think that's a strange contradiction for a lot of sensitive people. Sometimes we really want to be seen and acknowledged, and other times attention itself feels kind of intrusive. We want connection, but not to be overwhelmed. And I'm really curious whether other people experience this same contradiction, wanting to be seen in some moments and wanting to disappear in others. If you relate to this, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments.